Notice how in this prompt, I'm giving it just like an overall feel, just single sky apartment, dark features. I wasn't specific about any piece of furniture, although I can do that. You can see that in a second. But I did want to add that mini bar. And I can also change the scenery into nighttime. So now outside it's nighttime, and you can see uh, pretty cool, to be honest.
Yeah.
But let's take it another step because I really want to envision, like, try to imagine I'm a young guy. I want to maybe rent this place, want to live here. I'm trying to think how I can fit in. So let's add the guys on the sofa watching the football game. And while this is pulling up, I I'd be happy to, like, I invite you to challenge Ty and give me some interesting prompts. It can be about the furniture, maybe to remove a sofa or a coffee table. It can be um, maybe to change the design of the space. You can go wild. You can go like when I started working with this, I was kind of playful and I added some funny stuff like Spider-Man stuff on the wall. But you can see here the guys are watching a football game, which if you can pay close attention is real football where you actually use
I
your
was gonna
foot to
say,
kick
yeah,
the
football
ball.
or
Yeah.
soccer. We won't get into that debate.
Yeah. You know,
Um,
AI isn't perfect yet, I guess.
we know who's developing this for real. Chris asked a question for this feature. Will we be able to
Mm.
use custom design styles, i.e. cabinet color, specific flooring type, and countertop type within the prompt? Chris, I certainly encourage you to give us an example of how you would prompt something like that. And I'm sure Boaz has got, with his experience, he can help us kind of better understand maybe how to prompt it to say that? I mean, is it just as like change the tile floor to hardwood
Yeah, I mean, I
and
can
make it like, I
here,
don't know, like
let's
a bleached color, if you want to get
change
like really
to
specific.
hardwood floor. So it's interesting that that question came up because you can do it freestyle, like I just did now, where I gave a very kind of broad prompt of just to change it to hardwood floor. But the question, I guess, was more, um, and you can see it chose this specific
Yeah,
wooden
because we weren't
floor.
specific about the color of the hardwood, so it just went with the hardwood. I also
Right.
like that it kept the rug.
Yeah. And if, really want to get precise, it also kept like the overall dark features that I asked
Hmm.
at the first prompt. So it kind of knows what you're talking about. But let's say that this apartment, let's go from the end user's point of view to maybe the owner point of view, or if this is a multifamily or like a student resident complex, and you want to give a few options on what type of flooring you can provide. That's where we can also incorporate the library. So you're not just using prompts like general prompts like hardwood floor. And this is where I'm going to jump to this demo here. Let me just refresh that. You can actually integrate libraries of furniture, flooring, light fixtures, pretty much anything you want. And if we're already kind of, I'm sure some people or some business minds are already starting to run quickly and think about the value where you can actually have vendors sell, these actual um, objects. So let's start with flooring because I really like that example. So let's say we go to this and you can see here there's just a bunch of different tiles and flooring types. Let's go dark. Let's keep the dark features. Let's go with this dark marble. So I click on that. Wait, let me just go back. Yeah, I click on sorry. on the dark floor. And now it automatically gives it the exact prompt for designing that tile. I can change it. Let's do the entire floor. Insert this floor tile. Um,
And it looks
for
like it
that
added
entire
kind of an image
floor.
of that tile as an attachment. Does that mean that you can add
Yeah.
any
So you
attachment
can
you
add
want?
your
If I
own.
don't
Yeah,
find
you
it
can.
in your library, can I find it at, I don't know, some hardware store nearby and use that?
Yeah, or like just search online on Google something you
Yeah.
like, just if you want to kind of visualize it. But I think the value here when you have the library is that you have actual vendors that will obviously pay to be here and be able to already connect some sort of design layout to an actual order to bring out these materials and stage this space. So you can see um, it changed to that specific tile. And there's more here to it. I can also go, let's say I like, there's, you see there's light fixtures. Let's say I want to add, I like reading on my sofa. So let's look for a nice spotlight here. This little spotlight, I'm just going to put it here over the sofa. And
You're kind of
again,
tagging
every,
exactly where you want that to be. It generates the prompt for you, and then you hit
yeah,
go.
yeah, it's so here because you want it super kind of precise to that thing, we don't want to trouble the end user with writing this very accurate prompt. We just do it for them. And you can see the light fixtures there. It also kind of added it turned on so you can see the light on the sofa. And if I hover over it, I can see the details. So there's like a call to action here. I can actually look at the price of it, maybe even order it, depending on what the vendors want. But this is to answer the question and also kind of lead us into the library where you have a variety of options to kind of stage this space. And I'm going to move back. Was there any, by the way, were there any, I see the chat is like exploding,
Chat
but
is
were there
blowing
any
up.
other?
One I noticed was an empty, just an unfurnished apartment. I don't know if you've got something like that handy.
Yeah, I mean, I
Okay,
can unfurnish this one,
let's
clear
try that.
this space, and then I can kind of restage it from scratch. So let's say I didn't like the initial design it came with. I want to do something entirely different, remove, and sometimes you have to polish up your prompting game, but
Sure.
remove all furniture in this space. But then you can build it out. Maybe you want to use this as a different space. You know, maybe it's not good. It's going to be like a clinic
Hmm.
that you want to stage this as, or maybe like a home gym. You know, you're not um, couch potato. You want to keep active, so you want to stage gym machines or whatever. So you can either use an empty space initially, and you can see it removed all the furniture. Um, and then stage it. Or if you have a staged one, you can use the tie to remove and then add different. And then there's always this undo redo button.
Undo.
I also have a
Okay.
comparison, so I can compare it to
Oh,
the actual original that you can see here. And I can download this. So I can download the image. I can share this. So, you know, I'm thinking of renting this with maybe a roommate, two single guys looking to have fun. So I can share this with my buddy and say, hey, this, you know, I really like this layout. What do you think? And he'll see the sequence of edits that I made. So he'll see the original, but then he'll see everything that I added in here. Um, so this is the tie design. Now, let's say I want to know more about the space. So I know I like it visually, but I have some questions. I'm going to close this.
before we jump into that, one last
Yeah.
question regarding tie design. I know we can always come back, but Kelly
Hmm.
asked, can you navigate through the other scan points within the staged space? So once you've made those changes, can we navigate through?
So you can navigate, if you save them, you can navigate through. It won't be as if you're walking the Matterport space yet. That's stuff that's yet to come in 2026. But you can go to a specific scanning point, like and if you had edits here and you pull up the tie design, you'll be able to see what you've already done. So you can go here and then save that. And then let's say I want to go to the bedroom or the study and do some work here, save that, and then go back to the living room. I can see everything that I did prior to that. But we still have the original as the kind of foundation. So yeah, so Amir, we want to move in here, right? But
Let's
let's
do
make
it.
sure. Yeah, let's now we have Thai chat. So let's ask a few questions about this space. I I need to be in the office a couple times a week, so let's ask about transportation. Is there transportation near this apartment? And the Thai chat studies all the data that we upload to it. So if this is, again, if I'm going to shift from the end user to maybe the vendor here, I'm going to want to upload maybe all the data about the neighborhood, the surroundings, all the PDFs and forms and agreements. And then you can just prompt with the simple question and you see, yes, I have some routes here, blue and red lines, the distances. What about pets? I have a big dog. Is there a size limit for pets? Same thing here. If all the data was uploaded, then yes, I can see I can have a 50-pound golden retriever. All the it's really kind of at you, whatever you want to ask. You can even ask more kind of, I guess, concrete questions about pricing, like what are the HOA fees?
Where does one input that data?
So that would be on the treatise admin panel. So
Okay.
if you get the access to the admin panel, you can do this all by yourself, and you don't have to kind of comb through the data and upload a, an organized table for the HOA fees. You can just upload entire PDFs of hundreds of pages with all the information uncategorized, and the Thai will do the rest. So you see,
Yeah. So you're not answering questions that you anticipate. You're just
yeah,
providing it all the
exactly.
data. You're just giving it
Right.
all those documents that you would give anybody who comes and signs an apartment. You just provide that stuff.
Exactly. As opposed to maybe like a frequently asked questions section on a website, here
Hmm.
you're just putting all the data out there and Thai chat is basically saying, give me your best shot. I'll answer anything. So yeah, pretty steep on fees here. I guess let's ask why.
Yeah.
Why is this expensive? I mean, we're still kind of, you know, two young single guys here, right?
$845 for HOA. That's yeah. That's not going to come down. They only go up
Yeah.
every year. Those fees.
Yeah.
We may have to reconsider this apartment, boss. I don't know.
Yeah.
We should probably clarify. There's a question that came in regarding a treatise. What
Yeah.
what it is? Is it like an upgrade to Matterport? How does this whole thing with Matterport and treatise work?
Um, that's actually a good question. I feel maybe a little bit embarrassed because maybe I assumed everybody kind of knew the
I'm
relationship,
I'm there right there with you.
but
I completely forgot. I just
yeah,
wanted to get into the good stuff so fast that I
right.
completely forgot about everything that I had planned to say in the beginning.
So I'll take like a 60-second pause to explain that Matterport, if you're not familiar with the beautiful technology, allows you to capture your space with their hardware and also upload it to their cloud with the software. You get a second to none experience, which you can see here, the walkthrough experience that you can see your space. And then Treatise is all the overlays and enhancement to that space from any type of use case and feature. It can be for branding, it can be for building interactive experiences, and you can. I mean, I'm inviting you to browse the different webinars we did throughout the years with Amir on all the different solutions and industries and use cases. But a metaphor I like to use is Matterport is your canvas, and then Treatise is your paint and brush, and you have everything you need to paint your masterpiece with the two of them together. The integration is very seamless. You can easily sync all your Matterport spaces in your Treatise account. So an automated integration there, but it is two separate platforms. So I think I covered that. Do you have anything to add on that, Amir?
No, I think that's exactly right. It's like, if I mean the canvas and paint and brushes is a good analogy. Another one could be like, the iPhone with an app on top. Like the iPhone by itself, can't do very much until you put the app on it. So Matterport is like the foundation, like the canvas, and then Treatise allows you to do a whole lot with it. I mean, we provide the digital twin, the Matterport digital twin, and then you can kind of amplify that and focus it for exactly what you need it to do.
Yeah. All right. So that was fun. Let's dive into another use case. Let's shift more towards construction or maybe other types of industries, because I feel like I want to show a little bit of every industry, just because I'm not sure, anyone can be here on this call. So let's take a look at this construction site. I'm going to refresh this just to make sure we have a good space here. And this construction site also allows you to incorporate both Thai design and Thai chat. Let's see how that looks like. I can walk into this space here, which is obviously in the middle of being built. And you can see there's already tags here. For those of you familiar with Matterport, you can tag as you go along through the kind of life cycle of the construction, add all kinds of checkpoints, tasks. There's some collaboration tools. But for this example here, there's already some sort of like the plans that were uploaded to the different tags here on how the space should look. So I want to ask Thai chat. I'm going to start with chat this time. I'm going to ask it how does this space need to look like? So I'm in this, maybe it's a lobby or kind of main area. I want to know what's the final vision here. And then it gives me the, based on the specifications, gives me floors, walls. And what I can do here, I can pull up the Thai image editor. And again, I'm going to go 2D here just to keep it quick. And let's say I want to take the floors and the walls. Let's do floors and walls. Add the following. And I just paste that. So I took from the specifications, dropped it into the Thai design, just because I'm maybe managing this site. I want to get the vision behind the planning, and we'll give it a second.
And just to point out, because it
And
happened a little fast, Boaz, you moved from
from chat, yeah,
changing the
from chat
full
to design.
360 image to just the
Oh,
2D, like kind of what like
yeah,
the frame that we're looking at now, just to kind of speed things along and as well as the resolution. You could do the entire pano, which would
right.
still, we talked about this a little earlier, would still doesn't mean you can move through the space like you would a Matterport, but that you could pan around and tilt and see the full 360 if you wanted to from that position.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, it's I mean, all the settings here, there's we have great tutorials so you can kind of play around with it, see what works best for your use case. But just kind of trying to keep it lean so that everything moves quickly and everyone kind of we get to touch on everything. So I can see now the vision. Ceilings look unfinished, so let's just give it a kind of add drywall ceilings and modern light fixtures. I think I have a typo there, but you know, that's the thing about AI. It accepts everything, even
Yeah, it takes it
typos,
all in
even,
and figures it out.
yeah, it knows how, you know, dumb humans are, sort of saying. Speaks human. Um,
I'm a bad speller, so that's a good thing for me.
so here, now I see, okay, I see this
Nice.
is how, yeah, this is a finished visual of it. I got it. All right, it's morning. Guys are coming on site. Let's start the work for today. Maybe I want to save this for later, but let's see what I need to do today. So what are the tasks I need to do today? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask it what needs to be done today. And it seems like a simple question, but it's so important on a construction site because there's so much value to doing things in the right order.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to put the drywall in before you sorted out all the electricity, which seems very obvious, but there are so many nuances to all the kind of
The
processes
drywall guy
here.
isn't in sync with the electrical guy and doesn't understand what they're planning and if they're done, not done. Yeah, no, completely. These
Yeah.
things.
So if I and I, so what we did here, I can connect this to maybe my task manager system. And what I see here, I see, okay, here's what I need to do. I have high priority, like safety issues that I have to get done now, ASAP. And then I have a few other tasks. So I can I can see what needs to be done today. I can distribute the work. I everything is kind of visual for me. It's not kind of just reading out of an email or maybe just a blank screen. I can have this contextualized with what needs to be done, and I don't need to kind of half guess it because everything is coming from the system that has the right order of tasks. So I know I'm going to be performing a task that's for to do today and not maybe jump ahead and then cause, you know, problems and just lose more money on this development. So this is actually one of my favorites where you can see how the Thai design and the Thai chat come together. But it gets even cooler. You ready for this?
Check it out.
All right.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. What we have here is, and I'm going to refresh it too. So we finished building the space, right? We finished the construction, and we have our multifamily development here. And now I want to manage this facility. I want to manage the site. So facility management is such an important industry that's in terms of using digital twins because the digital twin is like the living part of your facility and there's so many things on a daily or maybe even hourly basis that need to be done and this visual layer, this visual foundational layer allows you to really contextualize all the tasks that need to be done in this space. So let's go out to the parking lot. And let's say when I built this house, I uploaded all the PDFs, all the manuals, all the SOPs, everything that has to do with this building, elevators, electricity, water, everything. But now it's midnight and I have maybe a maintenance guy that's new on the job, maybe 2 months in, and someone calls and says there's no hot water. So what does he do? Normally, he would have to kind of start browsing through, at best, decks like PowerPoints, at worst, maybe actual sheets of paper, those exist, um, and try to figure out, okay, how do I troubleshoot this? What am I supposed to do? But with Tai Chat, not anymore. Super easy. So Tai Chat, let's ask Tai Chat. Um, there's no hot water. What do I do? Now I'm prompting it like it's my first day under the job, not 2 months in. But what it's going to do, it's going to go through all that data, the PDFs that I uploaded, everything there, and it's going to give me maybe a very simple step-by-step troubleshoot. So here are the possible causes. Maybe there's no power to the water heater. So wait, water heater, where's the water heater? Where's the water heater? I don't know. I don't know where that is.
It sounds like you weren't properly onboarded as a new facility
Yeah,
manager.
yeah.
I mean, if
Human
you know,
resources. It's very challenging um, to bring in fresh legs. Take me to the water heater. And there we go. So it took me there. Now I can see, all right, it's out in the parking lot. I can even, with treaties, build some navigation routes. So I can actually show how to navigate from the lobby. But I'm already here. And then I can I can scroll up to the kind of steps, no power. So I know, okay, I got to check the power. So everything here is super kind of simple. It's just there for anyone to access, whether it's your first day on the job, if you're 2 months in, or if you're even 20 years on the job and you just forgot. Um, this is this is where I feel the value is huge. And sometimes with AI, it's hard to, just with the pace of these new developments coming out and the improvement in just our general lifestyle, sometimes it's hard to get excited, but this is very exciting. I mean, any facility management company person will tell you this is pure gold.
yeah, completely agree because I know that a lot of times you've got companies, for example, with multiple facilities, and the person on site may not be or have the experience as the expert who is actually many, many times not on site. And so getting a
Yeah.
hold of that person may not happen very quickly. So to have something like this, it's like having a copy of that expert with you all the time.
Right, right. Because I mean, who's gonna, you see here, if I click on the tag, I see there is a 22-page PDF with all the information,
Hmm.
but you know, people want to shower and hot water. You want to improve, fixing issues. You want to reduce the downtime of whatever it is, whether it's a hot water or anything else on site. And like you said, it's like having that specialist with you. I really like that. It's having like someone on your shoulder with you. Um,
Nice. That's awesome. So what about I don't know, things like we're, looking at the construction, and I saw one question regarding the residential place, like how big is the TV on the wall? Somebody mentioned that. Can you ask it questions about the Matterport model and not
mhm.
just about data that you had uploaded at some point?
Yeah, the dimensional data.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can prompt it about measurements. So I don't know if everyone knows, but Matterport have like a measurements tool, and they also have a sort of AI measurements where I forgot what it's called, where it kind of
Property layout
automatic,
or property intelligence.
yeah,
Yeah.
property layout, where it
Yeah.
automatically measures out the entire space. So you can prompt iChat about that data as well, like how big is this space? Is this apartment? Or how big is this room here? And then there's this is something that I'm going to touch more like towards the end, but in terms of what's to come, there's so much more to come in terms of that visual recognition. So similar to asking it, how big is this TV? We can also ask it, is there a TV? Or if it's a, this is that's, one, two-bedroom apartment is easy because you can just look. But if we're looking at this multi-home space, which has 6 floors to it, and I want to ask it how many TVs are in this space, then
Yeah.
you know, and that's not here yet, but it's already in the kitchen cooking, so it's coming soon.
Nice. Would you be able to train it? How do you train it on things that are not common? I mean, I'm sure the common stuff will be taken care of, but
Well,
uh,
what's uncommon, for
I can't
example?
even think about what's uncommon because it's uncommon. But like fire
Yeah.
extinguishers, outlets. So like I know with building code here, I don't know if it's California or a US thing, but there has to be an outlet every, I want to say 6 feet in the wall. So every
Mhm.
6 feet there has to be a power outlet.
Yeah. So I think that's the beauty of AI. There's no such thing as uncommon unless it's something like super extreme, or maybe it's a specific site like a factory where um, very specific, maybe biochemistry. But even that, like AI just knows it all because there's no such thing as something that's uncommon. You can just prompt it, like you said, fire extinguishers. And we're already kind of jumping ahead, so I can already show this. Um, you still see my screen, right?
Yep.
See this slide? Yeah. So you can already see that we're just rapidly launching developments, and Thai Design is out there, and the library feature that we saw is being released for enterprise users. Thai Chat has been released for our enterprise users, and what's about to come, what you were talking about, was Thai Segment, which is coming out later this year, which will allow you to prompt and query the model and ask it about fire extinguishers, piping, um, machines, outlets, like you said. And I think where it really becomes magical or on steroids is that you can now also ask it to tag those things. So I want to ask it how many fire extinguishers there are, but I also want to tell it and tag them and name them starting from 105 going up. And then at the end of that process, I have a list of all my tagged fire extinguishers, and if they
Yeah.
have a sticker on them with maybe the expiration date, add that into the tag information. And now give me all the fire extinguishers that are going to expire next month so I know how many to order. So it's just like
Yeah. Wow.
constantly
I mean,
making your life
that's
easier.
crazy.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to, so it sounds like, I mean, this might come off obvious to you and many others, but it's based off the Matterport model. So if you want to have that expiration date on fire extinguishers, you have to make sure that that scan position is part of the model so that there is a visual of that. It's not going to,
Yeah. It has to be visual, or you can upload that. So for example, if it already tagged all the fire extinguishers, you can then and that relates to maybe Thai code, which is also something worth talking about. You can add that information, so it doesn't necessarily have to be visual. It can be uploaded to your space, and maybe that's also a good transition to talk about Thai code, which will allow you to build your own applications. So that's kind of um, really removing all limitations. So if now you have to use features on the Treatise platform, and there are hundreds and they cover almost all the use cases, there's always that one thing that you want because you're special, you're use case is special, you're in a specific industry, high code will allow you to build different features on top of treaties. So think of that fire extinguisher example. I want to build a feature that integrates with my fire extinguisher data that maybe I have on a different system and with the visual. So the end result is I want to tell it to scan the entire space, tell me how many fire extinguisher it sees, tag them, give them a specific name, and then each name, I want then to pull data according to that name from a different software. And TyChat will develop the API and go through everything, pull the data of the expiration date. And then for me, as the end user, I now have all my fire extinguishers mapped out with expiration date, with maybe I even add an automatic email once a month that gives me the ones that are almost expired. But if in the past you would have to either get the access to the Matterport and Treaties SDK and API, hire a group, software engineers, pay loads of money, loads of cash to get this up. And it would take time. It would take, months until you get a feature like this fully functional. Now, all you have to do is just use Type code. I'm sure you're familiar with similar platforms like Claude and other kind of coding AI software. So this is exactly the same thing, but on treaty, specific for your digital twin. And I think that's the real, like for me, that's the most exciting part. The Thai code together with the segment. I think that's really the unleashing the full power and potential.
I mean, it sounds like with Tycode, you can, yes, segment is amazing. And initially I was thinking you would need to have all that information in the model. But like you were saying, you don't need to have it necessarily all in the model. I mean, you need to have a visual of, let's say, the fire extinguishers, and then you use Thai segment to create those tags, and you number them
Mhm.
all sequentially. Um, but then using the model, you can go in knowing which number, being at the physical space and take that close-up picture and kind of add more information to it. And using Tide Code, develop some tool that then automatically grabs your pile of images of those close-ups, adds it to the tag, and now you've got a more complete kind of data set.
Yeah, yeah, it's almost like sci-fi, right?
Yeah, no, seriously. But then you can also use Tycode to develop is what it sounds like almost any plugin that you want, any kind of API or SDK tool through
Yeah,
Treatise.
yeah, because if you think of it, and I guess it's a good I could show this example here. When we talk about heavy industries, so here, for example, we have a port, big port that we work with, and we were last month we had a group go out on joint road show on starting in Vegas and then going through different big ports in the U.S., Long Island, Long Beach, sorry, Los Angeles, Miami, New York, Philly. It's these machines have so many processes that are not just one software or one system. There's the sources of data are so there's so many. You have live data coming from IoT sensors. You have all the information, the PDFs, the SOPs, and then maybe you have some actual. You're managing on SAP, your maintenance tickets. So you want to have daily tasks similar to the construction site that we saw. So everything when you manage to kind of pour all that data into the digital twin with 3D contextualization, that's when you can access all those different data points, like you said, all those kind of connections to the different systems that you work with. So for example, here I can show you on that same example of the port, you can see here that you can prompt it about like hoist brakes on a crane. It will give you a list of the brakes. You can go to a specific one, summarize the PDF, maybe go through troubleshooting. And this stuff is very technical, very kind of precise. And then here, what you see here, which is actually very exciting as well, is after you build maybe a training module, so maybe a step-by-step training module where you want to have employees train before they even reach on site, you can integrate the Thai chat. So I can ask it, like I see the instructions, but not sure. So what do I really need to do here? And then the Thai chat is, again, like you said, and I really like that example. It's like that specialist on your shoulder, always there to kind of give you support. So we see a lot of different industries that are using this: manufacturing, utilities, oil and gas, like you saw, the ports,
Hmm.
real estate, travel and hospitality, even just to plan out, an empty venue for a wedding. You can do that with Thai design in 5 minutes. Send it out to the couple, or even you can give the couple the link and just tell them design it however you
Design will
want.
make it
Just send me,
happen.
yeah, send me the link, and I'll see what you chose. So we see every single industry finding value in Thai.
Yeah, sounds like it. I have a million questions, but I want to get to the questions from the attendees as well. So let's see if we can get through some of these.
Oh wow, I think we broke a record here on
Yeah.
on the Q&A, right?
Okay. You see something interesting? Pull it out. Um,
Yeah,
Rafael says,
yeah.
I just joined the webinar. Have I missed anything? No, no, we're all good. This has been recorded, so Rafael, you'll be able to watch it later on.
All
Um,
right. I see a good one from
okay.
Stefan Sortland. Um, will Thai segment pull in IoT data? Um, which is the answer is yes. I guess it's you'll have to be using Thai code because then you'll want to connect to the IoT data and then pull that data and ask Thai segment to contextualize that data. So for example, I connected to my IoT software and I'm pulling all the temperatures for different engines. So now I want to tell Thai segment, please tag all the engines. This is engine number one, and they're in a line. The last one is number 10. Please tag them and connect each one with its relevant data endpoint. Job done.
You could do IoT data without Thai though as well, right? With Treatise.
Yeah,
Or at this
yeah,
point with
that's
Thai,
yeah.
it's like just easier to use that.
Yeah, I mean, Thai code and Thai segment are coming soon. So if you want to do IoT now, you can actually do that. That's right. Treatise has an IoT solution where you can use one of our existing off-the-shelf IoT integrations to connect tags to live and data endpoints and visualize that in your space. We can also develop custom integrations if it's a different software that maybe we don't have ready off the shelf. And yeah, once that's done, you can do it yourself. And again, I think maybe something that maybe I haven't emphasized enough. Treaties, similar to Matterport, is a SaaS platform. It's a do-it-yourself platform. Everything is no code. Everything is intuitive, easy to use. There's a bunch of tutorials. We have a great support team that can help you and teach you everything you need to know. It really is kind of do it yourself. You don't need to rely on us to do it for you. You don't need to spill cash on, like I said, hiring software engineers. Just plug into your Treatise account and let it rip.
Yeah. Um,
Um,
Richard
yeah,
had a
do you
good
see
question
any?
here,
All
if we
right.
can cut to that. Can
Mhm.
you prompt it to show exposed mechanical ductwork? So I don't know if I'm translating this right, Richard. You can let me know. But so if you have, if the model that I'm looking at right now is, post drop ceiling. So that's already been put in there. But I do have information. I do have a model. I do have maybe some BIM assets of the ductwork, and the MEP that's in place. Can I prompt it to say, look at that data and show me what it looks like, where that stuff is in place?
Yeah, if the data exists, as long as Ty has a data source to grab data from, it'll show you, it'll answer you, whether it's visual data or if it's other data like maybe documentation that you uploaded.
Can data source be another Matterport model?
Yeah, yeah, sure. And for training purposes, this is actually funny because when I was playing around with this a little bit, you can use Ty Design for simulating scenarios. So, for example, if you captured your space and then there's a closed electrical panel, you can ask Ty Design to open that electrical panel. Now, it might not be the same, it might not look the same inside because Ty Design is just pulling what it knows an electrical panel looks like, and it might not look like yours. But that's also a very interesting tool because you can start creating all these scenarios. For example, set this engine on fire, just to give it kind of a real feel to someone that, oh, you see this engine is on fire. What do you do? What are your go-to? What's your kind of step-by-step on emergency or safety, which is also something that companies are heavily invested in, safety training. So yeah, it's kind of this, I feel like I have an example for every single question, but yeah, and I feel like there's more questions in the chat than we can answer. So maybe I will drop maybe in the chat like an email address. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Because we're definitely not going to be able to get to all of these questions, and I apologize for that. Thank you very much for uh, sending in the questions. Buzz or Aiden, if anybody can throw in the chat a way to reach out to treat us with all these questions, and I'm sure you guys will be happy to answer
Yeah,
them offline.
I put in the email addresses. Obviously, there's a website, treatise.com. There's myself on LinkedIn. You can reach out. I'm sure it's going to be very easy to find us. And then um, anything else we need to close on?
Um, so it looks like there's some ask about the credits. So from how many angles, Emil asks, from how many angles can we stage a space? What's the cost of the credits?
So I don't want to kind of dive into the actual cost. I'll just share the
It's
model
going to
or
change a
how.
lot, and this is going to be on demand, so it's not worth
Yeah,
the
so
cost.
similar to a lot of AI platforms, it's credit based. So the more you prompt, the more you pay. And then because Thai is such a kind of sophisticated AI solution where it has, like I showed you, there's the 360 for Thai design, and there's 2D, and then there's high res or just normal resolution. So each one has like a credit cost to it. So the more robust you go, the more credits it's going to consume, and then you just have these kind of prepaid packages of credits where you can have your monthly kind of bank of credits keep renewing throughout the year. We also have some offers for enterprise clients that want to buy credits by the millions. But if you go on Treatise and you get your plan, like you choose one of the plans and you onboard Treatise, you do get like a monthly number of credits that are included in your subscription, so you won't need to pay for them extra. And that should be enough to kind of play around with it a little bit to make sure that you like what you see. And then if you actually want to invest more, you can explore the different credit packages that we have, which you can ask us about on the emails that we shared. And to answer Chris's question, the credits are on top of the subscription cost. Yes.
Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, fantastic. So, anything else? How have you seen, I guess, customers? We've got just a couple minutes left, but some customers who are, have beta tested this, who are using it in the field. Um, what would you say, I guess, is a more common use case on how people are using it today?
So it really depends what industry. I feel like the maybe real estate, travel and hospitality is more focused on the design, where it helps speed up processes. It also helps save costs in terms of just hours of designers, because I mean, you still need to hold designers on the team, especially if you're kind of in the real estate business. But instead of having your designer kind of come up with five mock-ups for an apartment, the designer uses this as a tool, and then he can do that. Something that could take weeks can complete it in just a couple of days. That's for that. And then PyChat we see being used, like I said, in industries. And it came to the point where these enterprise clients, industrial manufacturers, the Thai chat is the core of it.